Hey guys, welcome back to Good Moral Tactical. Right now, the very first topic that we're going to talk to David about is some spotter dialogue. That's something that's very key with long range shooting, whether you're just out on the range with one of your friends trying to zero a rifle, or if you get into the competition scene and you're trying to get the very smallest grouping that you possibly can, or if you, in your case, you're actually in a combat scenario and you need to designate a target for somebody.
Sure.
So I'll kind of let that be in your court of talking about that type of stuff. But with the dialogue, can you kind of tell us why it's so important to get this down whenever you're getting into long range shooting?
Well, there's two I guess methods of calling shots. It's on the target range and in theater. I think when you're talking about on targets, the reason why you want to have that good communication is one, to not waste rounds, and two, so that whenever you are putting those rounds down target, you're getting as much maximum value from every round as possible. So as far as knowing where you called, having your spotter tell you how accurate your call was from where your round actually impacted. So for example, if I'm on the range here and you're my spotter, you'll give me a spotter ready. To let me know that you're on glass and you can see what I'm looking at. I'll give you a shooter ready. You'll tell me to send it. I'll give you a shot. Once I actually pull that shot, I'll give you what I believe I shot. So if I felt a little trigger pull towards the left, I might say I felt 9 o'clock 4 inches, because I believe I pulled that direction a little bit off of my target. And you'll tell me you were actually 11 o'clock 6 inches. The reason behind that is to get a better feel for when you do miss, how to improve your own shot. So it's very good to do that on the training side to make sure that you're always improving and maximizing every single round. You're not wasting ammo. All right, come on, spotter ready.
Shooter ready.
Send it. Call.
That was about 2 o'clock 4 inches.
12 o'clock 10 inches.
Okay.
All right, spotter ready.
Shooter ready.
Send it. Call.
That was about 1 o'clock 6 inches.
Good call. 1 o'clock 6 inches. Send one more. Call.
Between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock 6 inches.
1 o'clock a little further away at 12 inches.
Okay.
You're consistent. All right, send one more. Yep, call.
1 o'clock. I think that was probably about 6 inches.
Yep, 1 o'clock about 5 inches.
Okay.
Good group, man.
That's a good group.
Good group. On the theater side, it's more of getting to the target as fast as possible and describing it. So you have distance, direction, description. So we're looking at, you're looking at let's say 10 o'clock, 400 meters, I have a building. You get big and you get smaller. So building, okay, I'm on the building. All right, do you see the second window from the left? Okay, I see the second window from the left. I'm looking at a middle-aged man wearing a black, shirt. So you can kind of give the big targets, the smaller targets. That's a general basic understanding of how that works. You want to do it as fast as possible. You want to get your shooter on it as fast as possible. And then the same thing. Spotter ready, shooter ready, send it. And then obviously you wait for a target to expose itself, and then you're ready to send lead down range. So that's typically how that goes, down and dirty, nice and quick.
Got it. Okay. And now when it comes to gear with spotting, I know that there's a few different options. You have just regular binoculars that
Sure.
Some people have chosen, and then you have the actual spotting scopes.
Sure.
Can you kind of say why you would want to use one or the other for a circumstance?
So we never really use binos except if it was for just observing and just reconnaissance purposes. They do have the image stabilizing binos, which are pretty fantastic because they keep your hands from all the shake in your optic. But the reason why I lean towards a spotting scope is you have a tripod, so it's stable. So when you actually see rounds hitting, there's no wiggle in your scope. You actually see where it impacts. And on top of that, you can follow bullet trace very easily with spotting scopes, especially higher power spotting scopes. So I lean towards getting an actual spotting scope versus binos. But like I told you before, my spotter actually spotted off of his own weapon system, which is very possible. And he's also off a bipod, so he's very stable. And when I pull my shots, he sees it while I'm still recovering from my recoil. He's seeing every single thing that's happening with that round impacting and helping me to adjust from there. So,
So that's going to bring me to a question I'm going to ask. So since he was using his own weapon system, with his scope. Is it really important if you're working as a team unit, whether it's on the range trying to zero something in, or if you're out on the field, to have the same measurements, MOA to MOA or mil to mil? Or is it kind of okay to have an MOA scope and a mil scope?
So I would lean towards it's better to have it on the same. However, I don't think you need to. And the reason why is because if I'm using a mil reticle and he's using an MOA reticle, which we didn't do, we both use mil, but if we were theoretically, he's giving me holds for my weapon system. So if he's telling me the target's at 500 meters, my dope book would tell me at 500 meters I'm holding 2.4 mils. So I know that, he knows that. So if he's telling me hold 2.4, I already know it's mils because I know which weapon system I'm shooting off of. Whereas if I happen to need to call for him, which does happen from time to time, if he's shooting and I'm not for some reason, if I tell him holds, 6.3, if he's shooting an MOA weapon system, he knows my holds are all in MOA. So honestly, you could use both.
Okay.
If you have two rifles that are opposite, as long as you have the dope book for each individual rifle, that's all you really need. It can be perfect.
Cool. Well, I think that's really all that we needed to cover with that kind of subject. Now, of course, I'm going to leave it up to you guys as the viewers. If there's any burning questions that you have, any new topics that you want us to cover, again, put it in the comments. Let us know. Send us some messages, and we'll see if we can address those in some further videos. But
Yep, absolutely.
appreciate your time, man, and thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.
All right.